cousins, we're making smothered chicken. Now this video was originally uploaded 2015, but it is still amazing, so go on and check it out. For this recipe, I'm going to be using legs and thighs, and before anything, I made sure that the chicken was nice and clean. In this bowl, I'm going to add in some all-purpose flour. My flour had a couple lumps in it, so I'm just going to get rid of them by whisking the flour. So let me tell you all the seasonings that you'll need. I have some salt, some ground black pepper, celery seed, onion powder, garlic powder, and I'll also be using some smoked paprika. So once all of the seasonings are good to go, we're going to add them in the bowl along with our all-purpose flour. Let's whisk everything to make sure it's well combined, and now we are ready to coat our chicken. We will be coating the chicken with the all-purpose flour mixture that we prepared earlier, and you want to make sure you get all surfaces. Also, reserve that flour because you will be using it in a couple of minutes. So here's my pan. I'm going to pour in some vegetable oil, then I'm going to turn the heat up to medium. My next step will be adding in the chicken. Make sure you have a pan big enough to fit all of your chicken, otherwise nothing will cook evenly, so keep that in mind. So at this point, we're just trying to brown the chicken and cook it halfway through. And if you're enjoying this recipe so far, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Thank you in advance. So the chicken is partially cooked. We're going to have plenty of time to cook it some more, so don't worry about that. Just remove it from the pan, leave the oil in there, and now we're going to saute up some onions. So cook the onions for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to add in some garlic. Once the garlic's in the pan, we're just going to let this cook for another 1 minute. Don't cook the garlic too long, otherwise it will get bitter. So now we're going to remove the onions and as much garlic as you can scrape out of there. We're going to take some of that reserved flour and we're going to throw it in the pan. Not really throw it, I don't want you to get burnt, so just be careful. So this is pretty much the beginning of our gravy. So you want to brown that flour, and now we're going to start adding in some chicken broth. This heat is still on medium, by the way, and you want to make sure you whisk everything to make sure it's lump free. And once it is, we're going to start pouring in some whole milk. Next, we're going to add the chicken back to the pan, and do not worry if the gravy is looking thin at this point, it is going to thicken. So now the chicken is back into the pan. We're going to add our garlic and onions to the pan as well. And I also want to make sure all of my chicken is nicely coated with the gravy. So I'm going to turn the chicken to do so. So let's make sure that's coated. And now we're going to let this cook for about 30 to 35 minutes, still over medium heat. Now don't forget, if you want the exact measurements, come to my blog, iHeartRecipes.com. It will be available there. I'm going to leave the exact link in my description box, so check there. There will also be links to more of my recipes. And that, my friends, is it. I'm just going to garnish this with some parsley, and then I served it over rice, and I was in business. Let me know what your favorite Southern and soul food dishes are down below in the comment section, and I would try my best to get to them.